Good afternoon. Welcome to Something Sundays, a podcast that centers around current events, film, music, and more. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Here is your host, Colonel D.R. Acula.
Now that is a fine intro. Thank you for that. Very nice setup for the show ahead. Like the man said, I'm Colonel D.R. Acula, and this is the show. How are you doing today? I hope very well. Anyway, got a lot of things to talk about. Something about this, something about that. But we're going to try to keep it as short and sweet as possible. So, a few days back, we got some snow. About 80 inches of snow. 8 inches of this white death. This stuff is cold. This stuff is awful. Personally, I hate cold weather. I despise it. I'd rather be on a beach somewhere warm. On the day that it was snowing in Barbados, it was 85 degrees. I would rather been on a beach in Barbados. But nope, I was in eastern Kentucky with the temperature sitting at 28 and snow coming down. Not a fan. I can handle the cold all right. You know, it's not that. I can make do in it. It's just, I don't want to. So what have you been into recently? I myself have gotten into TV shows. I've watched a lot of movies over this last year. And still got several good ones to watch, but I've seen so many that I'm ready to venture into some TV shows. And I finally decided to give The Witcher a try. Netflix series that's based off of a book and a video game series. To be honest with you, I'm not really a fan of TV shows. Could care less. I find most TV shows to be long and drawn out, and mostly it's just, they just kill time, you know, so that they can give you something that you'll watch in between commercial breaks so they can make money. That's just how I feel about TV shows. I don't care for them. Now, there's some TV shows that I have liked. I really like Boardwalk Empire. I think it was a masterpiece. Yeah, it was, I guess you could say it could be boring at times, but it was really well done. And my favorite TV show of all time, The Leftovers. Oh, it's just, oh, that was a great TV show. So I started watching The Witcher. Well, I'm not going to have any dramatic effect here and dramatic pause. I like The Witcher about as good as any TV series I've watched before. So far, season 1, which I watched, I'd place it at number 2. Leftovers is number 1 on my favorite TV series. The Witcher, right there is number 2. Well, number 3 would be Boardwalk Empire, and under it would be Game of Thrones, and under that would be Vikings. The Witcher, exceptionally done. It's got some interesting characters, pretty fair story, and since it's a Netflix series, of course you don't have to deal with annoying commercials. And I hate commercials. Season 2 was released around the holidays. So far I've seen a couple episodes of it. Seems to be just as well done as the first season, so I'm looking forward to finishing that out and seeing what season 2 holds. Also started another little TV series from Netflix, Castlevania. I watched season 1, which that's no big feat because it's only like 4 episodes and they're just a little over 20 minutes each. So it's a, you know, good hour or so's worth of entertainment. But it seemed to be alright. It seemed to be pretty good. I am going to check out season 2. There's a total, I believe, 4 seasons of that. That's good. You know, that's another thing about TV series, too, that I don't like. Is that a lot of them you have to wait for the episode to come out. And I don't like that. So, with these Netflix shows and stuff, and especially when I jump on them, I don't watch them right when they first come out. If I do watch them at all, it's after they've been out a little bit, so I can go from episode 1 and watch as much as I want in one single setting maybe it's a couple episodes, maybe it's the whole season. But I just don't like waiting in between episodes. But I'm going to continue on with Castlevania and see if the second season, which to the best of my knowledge is more than just 4 episodes, so we'll see how it goes. After I finish up Witcher Season 2 and Castlevania Season 2, I'm going to move on to The Mandalorian Season 2. I never did finish it. I got a couple episodes into it, and it's not that I lost interest. I actually did like it. I thought it was pretty well done. It's just, I don't know, got busy, forgot about it, something. You know how things go. There's also a TV series I seen an episode of called The Mosquito Coast. I seen the first episode of it. It looked really well. So soon I'm going to try to go finish that season. I don't know if there's going to be a season 2 or not, so it's been a while since I checked that episode out. I may have to even just go back and watch episode 1 of that, but I'm going to do that. So if you're looking for some TV series to watch, I do recommend The Witcher. I do recommend checking out Castlevania, and I do remember, Mosquito Coast pretty well, but I do recommend checking it out. It's on Apple TV. I don't want to talk about TV shows and movies all the time, so I was looking at some game-related stuff. I was looking at games coming out this year, and there's quite a bit. But I'll be honest with you, there's none that really interest me. Now, to let you know something about me, I really haven't played that many games in years. I still have the Xbox 360. I never did advance beyond that, mostly because, well, I don't have hundreds of dollars to just dish out for game systems. So I like eating, so that makes it kind of hard. And I do play PC games sometimes, kinda. I've played one PC game in the last several years. That'd be Fallout 4. Big fan of the Fallout series. I played the originals back in the day. Then I played Fallout 3 for Xbox. Fallout New Vegas. Love them. Great games, in my opinion. And I started Fallout 4 last year. Didn't beat it because, well, I don't have time to sit there for 100 hours and continuously and play it. Whatever. I'm enjoying it. But I was looking at games that come out this year, and I'll be honest with you, none of them interested me. So I don't really have anything to announce on that. I did find a list that IGN released at the end of last year about what they consider the top 100 games of all time. So I thought, hey, I'll check that out. That'd be some great content filler on my podcast. Let's talk about what they consider the greatest 100 games of all time. So I was looking at their list. Started at 100, got down to number 98. They had Final Fantasy VII. That was on the PlayStation 1 at number 98. Now, as with most things in life, it's always subjective. What I consider the best doesn't mean that it's the best for you or best for anyone else. But that really made me question their entire list when one of the greatest games of all time. And I'm not alone in feeling that way. A lot of people would rank Final Fantasy VII up there, at least in the top 10. But when one of the game, authority magazine website people put one of the greatest games of all time at number 98, it doesn't really give a lot of, credit, or I just don't value their opinion beyond that. So I could really care less what's on this list. I did look at the top 10, and I will share them with you. Now, you can go read this list yourself. It's on IGN.com. The best 100 video games of all time. Coming at number 10 is Disco Elysium. I've never heard of it, but apparently it's has something to do with disco. I don't know. It's got a description here. It says, Simply put, there's nothing else quite like Disco Elysium. The premise is straightforward. A body has been discovered hanging from a looming tree in the backyard of a hostel, and it's up to you to work out how it got there over the course of a 30-hour story. It's a unique blend of noir, detective, fiction, traditional pen and paper RPGs, and a large helping of existentialist theory. Whatever, cool. Don't really care. Half-Life 2. I never was a fan of the Half-Life. It's number 9 on our list. Half-Life 2 is number 9. I never was a fan of the Half-Life series. Mostly because last time I tried them, I was a kid, and it was really hard. So I never did revisit that series to give it a chance. But I do know, just because I wasn't really into them, I do know they was a really great series. So I have no complaints with them putting that game at that position on their list. Probably right. Don't know. It's one of them things. Number 8 is Red Dead Redemption 2. Never played it, but seemed like it was pretty cool. I like westerns, and it's like one of these Grand Theft Auto, but with horses and stuff. Seems like it'd be a fun game from what I've seen. I wouldn't mind playing it. It's number 7, Super Mario 64. I did play it, but like with any Mario game, I could care less. Number 6, Mass Effect 2. I loved the Mass Effect series. The ending of number 3 was left much to be desired, but I enjoyed Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 quite well. Yeah, it's probably a good space for it. I don't think I'd have it on my top 10 list, but whatever. Number 5, Super Metroid. Now, Super Metroid is a great game. I loved it. Played it as a kid, played it as an adult. Ain't no complaints there. It was actually a good game, pretty good storyline. I don't mind a side scroller. Number 4, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. It's a Zelda game. People love them. 3, Portal 2. I've heard people talk about that game being really good. Never did play it. Ranked number 2, Super Mario World. Man, I just have to disagree with that. It's an alright game. I played it as a kid. I've played it some as an adult, but it really just annoys the absolute hell out of me. Now, I mean, that little bastard just wants to fall right off the edge, and you gotta jump over like your freaking sea biscuit from one ledge to another. Just very nerve-wracking game. The Mario games, I can't stand them. Get on my nerves. I definitely won't rank it number 2. And if you like it, that's cool. I get it. No hate. But it's not the second greatest game of all time. I can think of 100 other games that I would put above Mario as being greater games. And number 1 on their list, The Legend of Zelda. Now, I did skim through this whole entire list, and it's populated with a ton of Nintendo games. I get it. Nintendo's iconic. Yeah, they got Mario. They got Zelda. They got Mario. They got Zelda. And every Mario and Zelda game's on this list is pretty highly ranked. The greatest game of all time? No, I don't think so. I don't think none of the Mario games or none of the Zelda games are the greatest games of all time. If you're really nostalgic and thinking back to your childhood and some of the first characters you probably encountered in a game series, then they may rank high with you on your list, but there's other dynamics to consider. How's the story? Is the story good? Is it visually appealing? Is the controls good? All of that. It's not Zelda. So IGN, who sees himself as a game authority, disappointing. Next time you get to hear my top 10 list of games. I don't have them prepared today because I just came across this list this morning. But it gives you something to look forward to. And that's what we need. We always need something to look forward to. What's next on the agenda? Well. This is a bit of good news. In our world today, there are many subscription services. You can have things delivered to your house from Amazon on a monthly basis. Save a bit of money by doing so. there's subscription boxes for men, women. They're kind of a big thing. So when I found out this one particular company was offering a subscription service, and it was on sale right now, and it's cheap, I was really excited. Taco Bell is offering a subscription service. They call it the Taco Lovers Pass. It's $10 a month. And with this subscription service, you can order one taco every day from the Taco Lovers menu. They rolled this program out in 2021 in Arizona and had much success, so they've decided to do it nationwide. And there's a lot of tacos you can choose from. You know, they got the soft taco, the taco supreme. I don't know, it's got a bunch of stuff. Whatever they got. I don't hardly ever eat tacos. I'm all about the chalupa. Give me that chalupa. But they got several tacos you can order from, and I think it's a really great deal. For $10 a month, you can get 30 tacos. You know, one each day. And tacos are what, $1.50 a piece? You know, that's $45 worth of tacos for $10. Great deal. So if you like tacos, want to have a taco every day, get the Taco Lovers Pass. You know, you do have to use the app to use this service, which unfortunately for me, my local Taco Bell doesn't probably even know what the internet is because they don't use the app. You can't order from them using the app. I know it's crazy. When I discovered this, I thought I'd went back to, you know, the 90s or something like that. But no, they're just behind the times. Go Kentucky. So that's a pretty cool little tidbit of news. Scrolling through the headlines on back, apparently in Cyprus, you know, the country over there, across the Atlantic Ocean in the Mediterranean Sea, little island place, half owned by Turkey, the country, not the bird, half owned by Greece. Well, in this one particular town, they're really famous for this variety of potato. It's not a joke. I'm serious. They're really famous for this variety of potato, so they built a monument to this potato variety. And it's a big freaking potato statue. And well, on New Year's Day, somebody went and cut it down. Apparently they didn't like the potato, and the man who created the potato apparently had to stand guard and make sure no one did this. And the potato got erected last year. Well, on New Year's, he had to be elsewhere. So he said, you know, he put someone else in charge of guarding the giant potato statue. But that didn't work out because it got cut down. It's probably the person he asked to watch it. Because apparently no one really cared for this potato statue. You should go Google it. It looks like a big old giant, well, just go Google big Cypress potato. You won't be able to unsee it. But I did hear news from somebody in Cyprus that the potato has been re-erected. It's been saved. So, while it was a sad story, it had a happy ending. Google it. Big Cypress potato. Righty then, moving on. Not earlier, see, I almost forgot it was 2022. In the last part of 2021, a reality star became famous for a business model of hers. She was making about $40,000 a week selling merchandise. Well, she was recently hospitalized earlier this week due to the strains of her labor. The headline reads exactly: woman who was selling farts, hospitalized for trying to fart too much. No, I'm not making it up. Not at all. A former reality star has announced her retirement after she was rushed to the hospital for squeezing out one too many. Steph Mato, age 31 from Connecticut, recently found herself in the ER with symptoms of a heart attack after experiencing shooting pains in her chest. Concerned doctors performed all necessary tests to rule out a heart attack, and later told the 90-Day Fiancé TV star that the symptoms were actually caused by excess gas from her frequent diet of beans, eggs, and banana protein shakes. She said that she thought she was having a stroke at first, and that these were her final moments. She said, "I was overdoing it." She began selling her farts in a jar in November. That's right, she was selling her farts in a jar. Last November, she got into the business, and after receiving requests on an adult content site, the unique product saw her rake in $1,000 per jar.
Now that's something.
To keep up with demand, which saw her squeeze out up to 50 jars worth of farts a week, she had to indulge in a fiber-high diet, living off of beans and eggs. And then she later added protein shakes made out of bananas after she discovered that it made her fart smell worse. So she's not just selling any old fart. She's selling the most horrible and horrid fart her body can conjure up. You know, I'm all about people being creative and making money any way they can. But as I'm reading this story, you know, and her talking about how she thought she was going to die, and that she adjusted her diet so that her gaseous outtake was as worse as she can make it. I can respect that. I have no hate for that. You gotta make money, right? But what really just boggles my mind is that there are people on this planet who would pay $1,000 for a jar that contained a fart. Any hope I had for humanity has been killed slowly each and every day for the last couple of years. And I'm pretty sure this happening, this event, this woman, and the fact that people are buying it from her was like the nail in the coffin of any hope we as a species had. At this point, I'm just praying that God or aliens, even NASA, I could care less who does it. I just hope that someone is like, you know, that's it. Let's just go find the biggest asteroid we can. Grab onto it, and let's just launch it right at the middle of planet Earth. Let it hit. Let the earth shake. Let the seas boil. Let the sky be blocked out for years. And let's just start over. Maybe next time a creature will emerge that won't be as crazy. That's where my hope now lies. That one day, sooner the better, we'll just get wiped out. Oh well. Hasn't happened yet, but I can hope. Well, I hope the upcoming week treats you kindly. Unless, of course, this is the week that a meteor or an asteroid is going to crash into the Earth. Then I hope we all die. But if it's not going to, then I wish you the best of weeks. And remember, next Sunday, tune in to Something Sundays with me, Colonel Dr. Acula. be good, or be good at it.